I think going forward, we're going to see more and more customers using more demanding applications. Some of them aren't necessarily maybe the classic ISV apps, but more graphics intense applications. And I think you'll see customers turning to workstations like this more than they have in the past to run those kinds of applications, because it's not just about faster, it's about reliable, and that's a real key consideration. Other area we're seeing tremendous interest right now, and we are addressing it, is in the idea of taking your workstation and putting it in a central location or a data center in the case of a big customer. That's one feature I didn't touch upon earlier, was that all of these are rackable, and our big boxes actually can be put into a rack using our standard server rails. And what makes that, I think, is the most interesting trend that we're going to see going forward. We've been shipping a rack workstation, a 2U rack workstation, for about 4 years now. And customers who buy that are ones who want to have the data secure. They want to have the data right next door in a safe location. And with the proliferation of distributed workforce and often using contractors on development projects, people aren't co-locating anymore. They're just not there. And rather than give a contractor, let's say, or perhaps one of your own employees, a big honking workstation to do work, if you can centralize that asset, that resource, and provide a way for them to access it easily and have the same experience as if they were directly attached to that workstation, the customers see a tremendous benefit of that. First of all, the data never leaves the data center. Secondly, you don't need a big pipe for cases where somebody's remote, and in order to get decent performance, you have to ship a lot of data to their local hard drive. Well, you don't need that anymore, because that model where you centralize the workstation is all the graphics work and the compute is being done there, but then only what you're shipping across the wire to those users are pixels, effectively. So we've been shipping a solution there for 4 years that uses dedicated hardware to compress and encode pixels that come off a graphics card and fire it across to a thin client or a zero client device that does the decode. And that could be your notebook or your tower or whatever. The benefit of that to customer is that they control their data. It never leaves the building. It also means that when you have a central resource like that is accessible over a LAN or a WAN, it provides broader access than just the one person's desk that it was attached to. So a lot of customers are seeing a real benefit of that, and we're seeing a real trend there. And that's why one of the reasons we went to such pains to have that new box shrunk enough that it would fit into a rack. So we see that as an emerging model. Plus we see, once you put a workstation in a data center, the IT folks are all thinking, okay, you got servers over here supporting 50 users running client virtualization, running Word or Excel, etc. Why can't we virtualize workstation users and have more than one user on a workstation? Well, the challenge there is that there's no way of doing virtualizing or sharing high-end graphics across multiple workstation users. So there's a new usage model coming out that's been out there for a while with a company called Parallels, and now is being adopted by mainstream players like Citrix and soon VMware. And the concept is that you run a hypervisor on top of the workstation, and you have up to 4 graphics cards in the workstation, and each workstation is attached to a virtual machine, which is effectively a user out there. So you have essentially 4 users out on the network with some kind of a Citrix endpoint device. All of the compute and all the graphics is being done on the central location, central workstation. And again, the model I mentioned before on a 1-to-1 basis is here you have up to 3 or 4-to-1 basis, where a single workstation is doing all the compute, dedicated graphics per user because you can't share graphics, and you're getting the benefits of some leverage there in terms of number of users per box. Now this isn't a model, this is a new emerging model, and you're not going to have 4 Dassault CATIA users pounding away on this, but there are a lot of applications and classes of applications that don't need necessarily that kind of compute or graphics. And so we see that as an emerging usage model which we're very involved in. So the R5500, which is our rack workstation, is being certified by Citrix as we speak, and our next task will get Citrix to certify on the T7600, because it can support some pretty beefy graphics cards in that environment.
It's all too